Hi, Steph. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Neen. Hey, guys. Happy
Hi.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Happy
happy.
April.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's right. Well, when everybody listens to this, it'll be April 3rd.
hmm hmm
But happy Totally 90s Podcast Day.
Yes.
And we are recording on April Fools.
Yeah, which
Were
is
you fooled out
why
by anything?
no, I stay home on the first. It's an excuse
Yeah.
to stay indoors because I can't
Ah,
stand people on April Fool's Day. Like the
thank you.
pregnancy announcements, they're getting tired. Like I thankfully don't have anybody in my circle that would be that corny. But yeah.
I literally got I'm such a dork because so the 49ers, right? Apparently there was like a whole bunch of April Fool's jokes going around
Oh
on the
shit.
internet about them.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot it was April Fool's. And I opened my Instagram this morning and I see Kyle Shanahan's been fired.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
go, oh my gosh. So I call Tony real quick and I'm like, Tony, did you hear the news? And he's like, what? And I'm like, Kyle Shannon's been fired. And so he's like, it's an April Fool's joke, Justine. I go, no, it's not. It's on. I goes today, April Fool's. No, no, and it was. And then of course it's like dot 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 April Fool's.
I hate
I
people. That's it. Like, you
felt
know,
so
I
moted.
I did see something that made me take pause. So like I used to belong to what's that? Fab Fit Fun, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not anymore and
Mm-hmm.
I still get like the ads because they're trying to get me back.
Of
And
course.
one of their ads was this new bathing suit that's inflatable. So you put it on, it's a bikini
Uh-huh.
and it's hot pink and it's super cute design, but it's a little bit inflatable so you could float in the pool via your bathing suit. And so for a second, I was like, that's cool.
That's actually kind of genius.
Yeah.
And you're like, where can I get
Yeah.
this?
I was like, cool, I'll know how to float finally. Oh my God.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh my gosh. No, I see I'm gullible like that. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm the one that doesn't read all the way down. I just
Yeah.
see the headline and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," you
Yeah.
know?
Or my favorite is several pages will be like, I know how to avoid being fooled on April Fools. And
Hmm.
then and then it'll be like, you know how when Facebook has a long paragraph, it'll cut it off so you have to tap the screen to
Uh-huh. Oh
expand
yes.
it. So you tap the screen and
Hmm.
nothing happens because they've got
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, and you exactly, or swipe right.
Yeah.
Like they have all the dots
Yes.
already. And I'm like, "Why isn't this working? Why is it going into my messages?"
I hate this day. Oh my God.
Goodness, I know. I'm one for a good prank. I used to prank a lot my parents when I was younger
Yeah.
because I was, you know, only children. So like my imagination went wild. And one of my most memorable ones was I had put saran wrap on my mom's toilet because I don't know if your mom used to do this when you were younger, but every time she would come home from work, my mom had the smallest bladder.
Yes.
So as she would just run for the
Right.
toilet, right, to pee, and all you'd hear are her heels,
Yeah.
right? So I went into the bathroom and I put the saran wrap below the toilet seat.
Yes.
And that day, my mom throws her purse, and you hear her heels, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, there's pee all over." And I was laughing hysterically, and I was like, "Yay, it worked!"
Did you tell her? Like, did
I
you?
did.
Which?
After she goes, "Who put saran wrap on the toilet?"
Oh my
And it was,
God.
oh my God, it was the best ever. The
That
best.
is funny. That where did I hear that one? I think maybe on Friends with Rachel and when she was with teaching Ross's kid how to pull pranks and stuff.
That's right.
That's genius. Oh my God. I can't believe
Yeah.
you did that. My mom would have like disowned me. Oh my God.
I did so many. It was ridiculous. And I did one and it backfired on me, but it ended up getting other people in trouble and I didn't say anything. You know how you always say that I'd be the one with like blood on my hands? It was
Yes.
a perfect scenario because it was up at my grandma's. And it was actually, okay, I mean, it was supposed to be for my grandma because my grandma, took care of us. So I thought it
Yeah.
would be funny. And I got, the receiver of the phone that was on the walls, and I twisted off the speaker and I put peanut butter in it. And then I put peanut butter all over it.
Oh
So
my
when she
God.
picked up the phone, she was gonna get peanut butter all over her face, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so funny. All my cousins are gonna laugh, right?
Uh-huh.
So all of a sudden she's like, okay, Miham, I'm going to my doctor's appointment. And I completely forgot about my trick because no one had freaking like called. So I was like, okay, bye. And we're over there watching Scooby Doo, is myself and my other cousins. So all of a sudden it's like maybe 20 minutes, the phone rings. My Uncle Raymond
Oh, shit.
comes downstairs and he has a long, his beard. He has a
Yeah.
long beard, right? And all of a sudden you hear him and it's like, what in the hell? Who put peanut butter? It's all over my beard. I mean, he was so mad. So mad. So all my cousins were like, it wasn't us. It
Oh
wasn't us. It was
no.
Justine. And he was like, you really think I'm going to believe that this sweet little girl would do this? It was you fools over here. You're sentenced to the sofa and you're not allowed up until your mother comes home. And I was like,
You didn't say anything?
hell
Oh,
no.
hell. What did your cousins do to you?
They were like, Justine, you just say you did it. And I was like, I, I was so scared I was going to get in trouble. I was like, I am not saying a damn thing. I was like,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So that was the beginning of my prank season. But of course, as I got older, I really didn't appreciate it as much because, ugh,
Yeah. No, it's not fun to be on the receiving end. Like
mm-mm.
mostly when it comes to like people like jumping from behind doors and scaring the shit out of you. I don't like that.
Yes, I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's like at Fisherman's Wharf, that
Yes.
Bushman.
Yes. I didn't
I
find it funny at all.
no. Oh my God. And they have videos of that on Instagram where people get so upset. Or there was one little
Yeah.
girl that started crying. I'm just like, ugh. You have to know your audience sometimes because there's a lot of people that just don't like that. And it's like
No.
very jarring, you know?
Yeah. I have a question though. Why did you take the thingy off the receiver
Because I thought for some reason that the peanut butter was going to ooze out of
from the
it.
holes?
Hmm.
Okay.
Which it did when I screwed it back on.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't realize after the fact that I was like, oh, I could have just put peanut butter on the receiver because if it's oozing, it's already going to be in there. So I just put more peanut butter. And it
Oh,
wasn't just on the actual speaker, it was on the ear part too.
oh
So
my
when
God.
he answered, it went everywhere and it was all up in his beard and everything. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Did you ever confess years later?
No.
Oh shit.
I wonder if they even remember. I'm going to have to bring that up one year because
Yeah.
they were
Let
always
us
getting in
know.
trouble. And I was always like,
Oh my God. See, I called
yeah,
that.
I was not gonna say anything. And I hate to say it was before my grandma,
Yeah. Your
but
teeny little grandmother. That's so
and
messed up.
she would have gotten so mad too. She would have believed them that it was me.
Yeah.
But my uncle, I was like his favorite up there, so he never would have.
No. How old
It
were
actually
you?
worked out perfect. Maybe like 7 or 8.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you're all
Because
pure and innocent.
Okay, because 90s shows, like they showed all those things.
Yes.
So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is great.
Oh my God.
Uh, I don't know, but I have to ask you, I really like your nail color.
Thank
I love when
you.
Steph does pinks.
I love pink. When do I not have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like a
This
neon.
this is annoying. I really like it, but it was
Hmm.
did I tell you I went back to my old nail shop because I couldn't get an appointment where I normally go.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when they boss you into doing something that you didn't
I
want
know.
to do. Like so I was like, I'm gonna
Hmm.
get a French and then
Hmm.
I leave with a dip. And it's not even like I didn't want pink, right? Which is shocking, hello. But like
Hmm.
also and the reason why it's because she made me feel horrible because she for whatever reason like I had like gel nail polish from Mars that she couldn't get off and then she was like the drill was going everywhere cutting my fingers. This is
Oh
the
no.
owner
Oh
also.
shit.
And she's like, well, oh sorry, I don't know what this is. I go, can you not use the drill? You're not paying attention, you're cutting my fingers. So then she gets
Yeah.
the emery board, same thing, and every time I flinch she would look at me like I'm like on crack. And I'm like, you're cutting my finger. Like, do you see the cuts? I was I was nice,
You're
but then
cute.
it's like she kept pushing me. And then like plus tip and whatever, like she gave me $5 off. Like I don't know what kind of gel they use. I go, it's the same one that you have right there behind you.
Obvious. So wait, so I can't remember because it's been a minute since I've gotten my nails done. But every time you go, do they are they file it off, right? Or they don't soak them off.
They soak the nail polish off
Oh, they
first,
do. Okay.
and then they file off whatever's left. And for some reason, this woman couldn't do it with this like mystical gel nail polish. And I
So,
was like, ugh. And
mm-mm.
then plus tipping, it was almost $100. I was
Oh, hell
furious.
no. Are you
Yeah.
freaking serious?
Yeah, because you have to tip like 25%. So like it was 65, but she's like, I'm gonna give you $5 off, but then that's still you gotta give like 12, $15 tip for what? I don't know. Like she butchered me, but never again. Never again. That's the last time I freestyle. But so I'm gonna do it myself next because
Yes.
I could do myself. I have this stuff,
Yeah, and
except
you
it's not
have
a dip.
beautiful nails.
Thank you.
No, for real. Like all you
Surprised I
gotta
have
do is
any left.
and you have the gel,
I
the UV
do.
light and everything, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do because this I could have done. Like the other place I normally go to does design and everything, and it's still cheaper. Like, what the hell? I
No,
mean,
for real.
they also like are in a rush and they'll like nip me, and I'm like, what is going? What can you pay attention? Because they'll be like this,
Yeah.
like having a conversation. I'm like, can you look at my hand?
There's really no excuse for it. I mean, someone that learned about this shit, like
Yeah.
that's why honestly I stopped going to nail salons is because it's hard to find one. And
Hmm.
then when you do find a good one, they're always busy. And then you really do have to make appointments in advance. But then I found a lot of times when I make appointments, the places I was going, they never honored them. I still
Yeah.
ended up waiting
Yep.
because they took too many people in,
Yes.
right? And then the last time, like, because I don't get pedicures, I do my own.
Yeah. Same.
But I
Can you imagine?
decided, oh God, no. Yeah, well, I got a pedicure. Okay. And because I was going to Hawaii, so I was like, I'm gonna prep these toes, right? And I'm gonna have someone else do them because
Yeah.
this way I could get gel on them and they'll last,
Yeah.
right? Okay. The first thing in beauty school they teach you with nails, because we learn more about nails than hair and face.
Okay.
So our whole state board test is on nails pretty much.
Wow.
70% of the test is on nail health because you nick someone wrong or you cut them, they will can die.
Oh
Like
my
you can get a
God.
massive infection, right? So tell me why when this girl did my nails, you see those videos on Instagram of those people that cut the cuticles?
Oh la la la.
So supposedly that's called like a Russian manicure
Ugh.
where they cut the cuticle like that and it comes off all on one. But we were always taught you're never supposed to cut the cuticle. Like, unless it's like a hangnail, you can cut it, but you're not supposed to pull the cuticle. You're supposed to just push it back. And if you
Yeah.
do a manicure the correct way, you should be able to just like kind of push it and
Yeah.
clean the nail,
Yeah.
right? Well, this bitch got a hold of my toe. And she literally, I don't know what the freak, but I was looking at her. She pulled, I am
Oh
not kidding,
God.
Steph, from one end of the nail to the whole U shape of my nail. She tore
Oh
off
my
my whole
God. Oh my God.
cuticle.
What did you do to her?
I was like, wow, you pulled that off. And she was like, yeah.
Why is everything a
So I
joke?
I clicked. I took a picture of her ass because I was like, I'm not gonna remember her name. I'm gonna take a picture of her because if I end up in the hospital and my toe
Ugh.
falls off, this new salon is gonna be called Justine's Nails, okay?
Exactly.
Because you're not supposed to do that. There's like, and I was bleeding.
Oh my God. I'm freaking out.
And
Oh.
I ended up getting not an infection, but I it was inflamed. So I literally had to like soak my foot in Epsom salt. I was putting Neosporin and I think I even sprayed it with Lysol because I was so afraid I was going to get an infection. I mean, look at Rosie O'Donnell. She had a manicure and she almost lost her finger. She
Okay,
ended up in the
I'm gonna take a
hospital.
break. Thank you for
Sorry. But it's important because a lot
Yeah.
of people will go there even like with ingrown toenails or like infected fingers,
Yeah.
and they'll entrust the manicurist, to do like to take it out. They're not doctors. Like they should not be doing that kind of stuff. And a lot of times you don't see them cleaning those tools. Like
No.
you should literally, once they're done with their stuff, you should see them putting those tools in quats, which is the blue stuff that,
Yeah.
yeah, barbers, right? They should, after every person, it should be on there. And a lot of times, I guess that's what bothers me is they tend to like the emery boards. Those things should be disposed after used or have them for specific clients, especially if they're, normal clients that they
Yeah.
have. But those things, you can't disinfect those.
Oh,
So it's just, those are things, and there's no reason to nip. Like when they nip you like that, there, no. Like, and if you notice, it's hella fast. It's like, you know?
yeah. Or like if the gel nail polish, the bond or whatever, it like sticks to the skin. So they take that emery board and what? I'm like, what are you
Yes,
doing?
exactly.
I make them feel dumb.
No,
Like
you should.
I'm really polite with them, but then
Hmm.
by the fifth time,
Hmm.
like in a row that you've done so, I'm like, can you stop? And they're like,
I've gone with you to get your nails, and you were so funny because even when they're filing, you're like, because I get that way because you kind of brace yourself that it's
yeah,
gonna hurt,
yeah,
right? And they get annoyed,
yeah, they do. They look at
and
you
it's
funny, like, and I'm like, bitch, I'm paying you.
exactly.
Okay, you totally
Yeah,
turned me off from going to
I'm
the nail. Thank you for
sorry.
saving me like $70 a month.
No, but what I would suggest too is those the ones that you go over your nail. Have you ever tried those? They're like little pieces of lacquer, like paint nail polish, and you just put them on.
What are you talking about?
They're nail polish that you put on, and they don't even have to dry. They're like a decal.
Oh yeah, I've tried it before and I would do it and they last. I would do
They
my
last
nails. I would do
forever.
like maybe four of them and have like a design on this one.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go back to that because I need a little break. Like and
Yeah.
at Steph's nail shop, like I didn't even get a hand massage from this hoe.
Oh
So
no.
that I
For
just
that
realized,
price?
yes,
Oh
at least
no.
the other one like rubs me the right way. Like,
Yes,
but
exactly.
yeah,
That's the
I'm
best
gonna.
part.
Ugh. But we
Ah,
should do a episode the dark side of the nail shop.
we
An
should.
expose.
For real, we should. You know what? We should start with the very first time we went and got our nails did.
Oh,
Because me, you, and Annie,
oh
remember?
my God, the
Your nails look
worst.
fire.
Ugh.
Mine look like two blind people did them. Because
At
my nails,
Stonestown.
yes, my nails were all, it was ridiculous.
Ugh.
It really was. But they still look fabulous despite the fact of
Thank
that.
you. They better continue to look this nice for at least another 3 weeks.
I'm sure you're pretty gentle on your nails though.
Yeah, yeah. And the gel, like this stuff, like my nails are, I'm surprised that I have any because they were the way they were treated. Like
Hmm.
I was like, they're gonna be so thin, but like this keeps them from breaking, like the
Yeah,
gel, and it helps them
exactly.
grow. So I'm like,
Oh,
"Ugh,
totally. Do you wear
yeah,
gloves when you wash dishes?
I don't.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good that they last. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't wear
yeah,
gloves either.
yeah. But they grow hella fast, and I have to be
Hmm.
careful because like I'll just bang into anything like this one. Like I almost ripped my nail off because I went
Oh,
like that, and I had a big bruise. I was like, oh my God,
oh, and there's
ew.
nothing worse when you hurt your nail or it
Uh-huh.
bends back
Oh.
and it separates from the skin.
Ah. Oh my God.
Oh God, people are driving off cliffs right about
I
now.
know. Sorry, everybody.
Uh, but before we get into our topic, I wanted to ask you, Steph, you did like a flash mob this weekend, and I have a question because the sign said no dancing in the
Yes.
back. So tell
Yes.
me, what was that about?
So this is an installation that came from our favorite, Burning Man. It's an art piece. The no
Oh.
dancing sign. They donated it. Or SF bought it or whatever. And it was
Hmm.
installed in October 2023 in the skate park of Golden Gate Park.
Hmm.
And a few months back, like the dance group that I'm a part of
Hmm.
did like a flash mob there for the Barbie.
Hmm.
Right around the Barbie movie, they did the Barbie performance. So they were still like high
Oh,
off of the
cool.
performance. They're like, let's all
Hmm.
wear our Barbie costumes and go perform at this sign. So
Hmm.
then one of the girls from our group, from the Daddy Yankee group, was like, let's do a flash mob of Daddy Yankee while we still know it.
Hmm.
And like it happened suddenly and it was like Easter and like all this
Hmm.
stuff, but we got enough people together and I brought my speaker
Hmm.
and it was so cute because people would gather, like, why are they matching? Like, what's
Aw.
gonna happen? And then we did it and it was great. And people were like, can you do more? Like, I was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
how cool.
like it'd be really cool to do like, I don't know, like I don't know, lots of stuff
Yeah,
there. So they really
exactly.
liked it. And the girl that organized it, she brought her tripod, so she was able to like set up her camera and get the whole sign. It was fun.
Oh, that's
It
amazing.
was cool. Like I like that little addition to the I think it's gonna stay forever because it's been
Wow.
approved by San Francisco. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's really it looks like wood. Like if you look at
Mm-hmm.
it from far away. I guess it is
Right.
wood because Burning Man, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, I thought it was so cool. And
Oh,
it
that's pretty
looks like the
neat.
rain hasn't wrecked it or anything. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
no,
guess
for
what?
sure.
More rain is coming. More rain is
I don't even know. Like,
coming.
I don't know how the weather is today. Is it blue skies and birds
Yeah.
chirping? Yeah, that's how
All
it
of
is
that
over here.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 70 over here throughout the bay. I was like, wow, this is great, you know?
No, and I was like, yay, hiking season's back. I'm so excited. We went on two
Mm-hmm.
hikes on Saturday and I was just like, oh, I miss it. I love
Mm-hmm.
to be outside. And even though my
Mm-hmm.
allergies, oh man, did I pass out early on Saturday night. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, like swollen. But
No. Oh.
yeah, and me and Angel are supposed to go play pickleball on Saturday.
Oh, how cute is that? I love that.
Like,
Tony and I have pickleball boards and the whole thing. He's all
yeah.
into it. We just haven't had a chance to go, but have
Yeah,
you
we
done it
ordered
before?
no, not yet. We're gonna play with our friends on Saturday. And so we went to dinner with them last week. And our some Zumba peeps are they love it. Like they play it religiously and people are so into it. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
levels, there's leagues and
Yeah,
all this
tournaments.
stuff. And like there's so many like places in the city like
Mm-hmm.
where you can reserve and do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck it, I want to see what the big deal is. So I got
Mm-hmm.
we got four paddles and the balls and everything from
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. And like Dina heard about, she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. We're gonna play. Like, let us know when we're
Mm-hmm.
free. Like, it's a whole thing. Like,
It
so
is.
I'm excited, but hopefully the
Yeah.
rain won't interrupt these plans.
When are you supposed to go?
Saturday.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they said Thursday, Friday, Saturday is supposed to rain. But I don't know. On Saturday night there was not supposed to be any rain.
Mm,
I don't know what the hell happened, but even yesterday night, we took out our cushions for their
mhm.
backyard and it was raining harder than they had ever told us in the past 3 or 4 weeks when we've had all this rain. It was
Ugh,
coming down like nobody's business. I was like, what the hell? Where did
yeah.
this come from? Like the freaking heavens just opened. But I will say though that the skies on Saturday night were iconic.
Was that with the amazing sunset? Like it was like cotton candy over here. It
Oh,
was
yeah. I have a video. I'm going to post it on Instagram because it was like on one side, it was looking towards the mountains and it was that cotton candy color, but
oh
it was also mixed with like a gray and lavender. It looked like something out of like Weird Science or Ghostbusters when the clouds come about and they're about to form a storm. And then I turn the camera over to the other side and there's a whole rain cloud and the rain's just coming down and then lightning hits. It was just crazy. I don't know what's up with this weather. It's like, because by this time, usually it's pretty hot over here, and it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, I was like, at what point is it gonna get like hotter than hell over in your neck of the woods? Because
Yeah, it's nuts because it's like it was like in the 50s today. They said tomorrow's going to be in the
damn,
70s and then go back to the 50s and then the 70s again. So I don't know. We'll see. Who knows what next week will bring? You know, I
I'm
don't know.
over it. I'm
Snow.
I'm literally just yeah. I'm just tired.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But I'm like mesmerized by those lockers behind you, Steph.
I know. Do they give you a nostalgic feeling?
They
30
do.
years ago.
We were just talking about that before we went on, and that's crazy because you know what? So tell me, like, we both went to Catholic schools growing up,
Yes.
and I didn't have lockers. I'm sure you didn't, right?
Are you
Did you
talking
have
about
lockers
grade
in grade
school?
school?
No.
Hmm. So that out of anything in high school was the most nerve-wracking for me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I was so afraid that I wasn't going to be able to figure out how to open it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me too. I had that same
Hmm.
like I was like, this is, they prep you for it on all the TV
Yeah.
shows and
Yes.
slamming it and decorating it.
Uh-huh.
Like you knew you had to
Exactly.
decorate it. Like I
Hmm.
wouldn't have, I mean, maybe I would have because people around me would be decorating it, but like
Hmm.
you had to get the right, pictures to hang up and you had to get the
Yes.
little, did we have a lock that we took with
Yeah.
us for 4 years? Is that what it was?
Yeah. The little one
See,
with
like what
the,
if we forgot?
I know
Wait, was it
exactly.
one you could take off of the thing, or was it part of the locker itself?
No, it was the one we took off because I
Oh,
remember my dad like teaching me how to turn it each way.
oh
And I was
God.
like practicing for like hours to make sure I remembered because I was so
Ugh,
nervous. And
yeah,
when when you're rushing,
yeah.
that's when you always can't remember which way you turn the damn dial.
Yep. And people are looking and like, what's taking so long? Yeah.
Yes,
To
exactly.
this day, I have that phobia. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when we belonged to another gym, like, we had
Mm-hmm.
to have a lock. And let me tell you how many locks my ass went through because I would like lose them or I wouldn't remember the combo. It was just so
Mm-hmm.
irritating. Yeah, me and locks don't get along, but
Yeah.
somehow we made it through high school. Thank God.
Yeah. No, for sure. But lockers were like a huge deal. Like that's
Yeah.
like the like when you think of high school, that's like where people convene, like they just that's like the place,
Yep.
you
It was
know?
like meet me at my locker at like 10 right before
Yes.
class. Although
Uh-huh.
like, the cafeteria too,
Yeah,
but it
for
was
sure.
definitely like when you're done from class, like that's everyone's done at the same time from all their classes, I think, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
that's where everyone would just hook up. Like, okay, we're gonna do
Yeah,
lunch or oh,
exactly.
I miss the simple days.
Or you put notes in the little
Yeah, like
slats.
slip it
Yeah.
through. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yes, I agree. But we didn't come here to talk about lockers. What did we come here to talk about, Steph?
We
Because those
kind
halls are, you know.
Yeah. We kind of did though. Like lots of locker scenes took
Oh,
place.
totally. Mm-hmm.
So we're picking back up on our little TV saga and we've rounded the corner and we've landed
Mm-hmm.
on one of the most iconic shows of our teen youth, I think.
Yes, I
My
agree.
So-Called Life. The one and only Claire Danes with the red flaming hair. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Damn it. Man,
Angela Chase.
yes, I straight up dyed my hair for the first time ever that color
Yeah.
because I loved her hair so much. And the
I
haircut,
Yep.
everything.
I let you
Oh,
cut my hair to
yes.
that. I mean,
Right?
yes, I was emulating Valerie Malone, but it was also very much Angela. I loved
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Loved her. So like
Hmm.
this show, like why was it only one season, first of all? That's so insulting. We
It
didn't even get
is.
20 episodes.
No, we did.
Okay? Like
One
what
episode shy of it. Just give us the 20th to tell us
like
what happens.
and yes, they were longer than your typical 27-minute long show.
Right.
They were like 48
Hmm.
minutes or so.
With
And
commercials an hour.
yeah,
Hmm.
but I feel like we were robbed. It dealt with so much. This one was definitely ahead of its time because we
Hmm.
dealt with, you know, what child abuse,
Hmm.
alcoholism in the
Yeah,
best friend, Rayanne.
exactly.
We
Hmm.
dealt with homophobia because we had a gay
Hmm.
character.
Exactly.
I mean, drug use.
Drugs. Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
there's just so much
it
in this
was.
that they jam packed into one season. I don't know why. Okay, why was it only one season?
So,
Like,
and
why?
that's what because honestly, I could have sworn it was two or three. And you know why? Is because I feel like a lot of the shows during those times, maybe there's about 10 episodes, right? Because
Yeah,
it was at once a week.
yeah,
But there was 19 freaking episodes. So I think
yeah,
because there were so many, I felt like we knew the whole story, right?
yeah.
Um, but from what I've read, I want to say that um like there's a lot of different rumors why it ended. They were saying that like was it CBS that it was on? I believe it
It,
was, or
was it? I thought it was
NBC.
ABC.
It could have been
ABC.
ABC. That they didn't give them much publicity. Like there wasn't much marketing behind it, but also Claire Danes, it was kind of like they were saying she didn't have enough time to film a lot of the stuff.
That's right. Her schedule,
Hmm.
scheduling conflict. So,
Yeah, because she kind of like from this show, it kind of sparked her whole career.
hmm
And I think everybody was trying to get her.
hmm
Because was it around that time when Romeo and Juliet started too? When that came out with Leonardo? Because it was in the beginning of high school, I remember. I think it was freshman or sophomore year when that came out. I can't
Yeah, because
remember.
this show was 1995.
Hmm.
I thought Romeo and Juliet was 1998.
Was
But
it?
I could be wrong. Let's see. No, 96. Okay, so that
Okay, so it was
explains a
around,
lot.
but still, I mean, that was like still after it. But I guess, she was, I don't want to say she was different than what we were used to, but we
She
really didn't see people like her,
I think
you
she was
know?
definitely a different type of person to look up to. She was, and it was because it was like this show was very moody. It showed
Hmm.
like the moody side of high school
Oh, yeah.
and moody in the 90s. And you know who's kind of like emulating it a little bit is that show Euphoria. Like
Yes,
I get the
exactly.
vibes that my so-called
Hmm.
life gave me from that show.
Totally.
So, I mean, you have like these people, they're wearing Doc Martens. They all have
Hmm.
like silver jewelry, lots of it. And
Yes.
Jordan Catalano was he was the
The heartthrob.
yes, and he was always never smiling,
No.
and he a man of few words, but
Hmm.
like yeah, that was
It
the
was,
whole
and I
thing,
think
the
with him,
appeal.
he was so like, it, the show was so poetic in a way. And I think the way he and Claire, so Angela and Jordan, the way they communicated was in a lot of ways by never saying anything.
Uh-huh. It was all in the eyes.
Yeah. And I think those are things that we as teens, especially during the 90s, could just like, we're like, we can understand that because we were the same way. You have a crush on someone, a lot of times your whole mind is saying a whole different thing, and you're already married in your head, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how it was for her. Like, when you looked at her, she's very kind of homely, but at the same time very emo and like that alternative look,
hmm
very into her feelings, very non-expressive about stuff, but actually at the same time though very expressive
hmm
with her feelings. But with her and Jordan was the same way, but he was just
Yeah.
mysterious, which made him so attractive.
Yeah. And I feel like that's just a common thing with teens, maybe even
Mm-hmm.
women, like adult women. Like
Yeah.
when you want to crack that
Mm-hmm.
puzzle,
Oh
like
yeah.
you want to be the one to get him to talk and like
Yes.
open up to you. It's like,
Exactly.
wow, he must really like me. So, I mean,
Oh,
all I can
yes.
see when I close my eyes and I think about the show is that beautiful scene in the hallway
Mm-hmm.
where he spots Angela and
Mm-hmm.
she's at her locker with Ricky
Yeah.
and Rayanne. It's
Uh-huh.
slow motion. Okay. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was cinematic. It was so like beautiful.
The
He like
music.
leaves his friends. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he walks towards her slowly. And I'm like catching my breath because like we're seeing it
Uh-huh.
from her perspective. He's walking towards her, never like taking his eyes off of her. She just keeps looking. She looks like a little, deer in the headlights. And all he does is come up to her and like take and then they just go like they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna walk off together,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then he holds her hand and you feel that you like exhale, and she's just, my God, that's it. I've never been happier than in this moment. We can all relate to that as teens and
Oh
as women.
yeah.
Like, oh my
Uh-huh.
God, are you kidding me?
It's what our
that is
dreams
my
were
f-
made of.
that's my favorite scene, like
Mm-hmm.
hands down.
Yeah,
Like,
no, for
oh
real. It was one of the first shows where you could feel it,
yeah.
like you wanted to jump into the screen and be her,
hmm
because he was like literally the 90s were so Jordan Catalano. The way he
Yes.
looked, the way he dressed, but his dark hair, blue eyes, it was just like, God, he was so dreamy. And like, we didn't go to a co-ed school,
hmm
but it's what I imagined it would be like to be in a co-ed school, and to have that crush or that core group of friends where you have like the girl that's, because when you think of their friends, they're all so different.
Uh-huh.
And that's something that I appreciated a lot about this show too, is the fact that, you had Ricky, you had Rayanne, you had Sharon,
Uh-huh.
and Brian, the nerd,
Uh-huh.
and it was just like, but they were so different,
Uh-huh.
and they all came from different walks of life and had their own stories,
Yeah.
like I couldn't stand Rayanne in the beginning. She irritated me, but then you understood what she was coming from. So you got that, like, um, you were like, okay, I get, she comes from like an abusive home,
Mhm.
and I believe her mom was an alcoholic, right?
Yes.
So it's just like, okay, now you understand,
Hmm.
but they all carried something. I loved Ricky. I loved his style, his attitude. He was like the peacemaker, but at the same time, very influential with how he came across. Like things that he would say, he made people think,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
I loved him. He
Um,
was my favorite character
oh,
for sure.
completely. Yes. Like the way he danced,
At the
you
prom.
know? Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think he brought Angela out of her shell.
Yeah.
You know, like Rayanne did, but it was more in a weird way, like kind of like Rayanne was like the friend that your parents didn't want you to hang out with, right? The bad influence,
Mm.
right? And that clearly was the case. And I think Ricky kind of helped Angela still stay on track because
Yeah.
he understood what Rayanne was about,
Yeah.
and he was still cautious. But he was like, no, you don't understand. Like their friendship went further. Because I'm trying to think back. Was Angela a new girl?
Yes.
Okay,
She
that's what it
started
was.
the school her sophomore year. So
That's
she
right.
was already, and that was her best friend. Her best friend was Sharon. And like
Mm-hmm.
once she gets to the school,
Mhm.
she becomes enamored by Rayanne and how outgoing she is, and with Ricky. Remember the first episode? Like they go to a club and they get like
Yes.
pulled away by the cops.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's why Sharon is always skulking about like she always had that
Yes.
face on and everything.
Uh-huh. That face.
Yeah.
Yes, she was the one, the goody goody.
Yes. Yeah, and so
Mm-hmm.
was Angela prior
Yeah. Oh,
to,
big time.
because we see her dye her hair in this
Mm-hmm.
first episode. Like she starts to
Oh,
come out of her shell. Like I feel like everybody needs that bad influence friend in high school. Ooh,
oh, completely. Yes. And like, it kind of that's like a rite of passage in a way to do
yeah.
something that you normally wouldn't. And that hair
Yeah.
changed her, like the way people looked at her.
Yeah.
You know, Everybody wants that moment where you do something drastic and are like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, when you walk in and everybody's like, oh my God, everybody wanted that,
Hmm.
and, but I don't know, and it's not just Angela in this show, like Claire, but Claire Danes as an actress, everything that I've ever seen her in, she knows how to like take on that role
Mm.
and really, like, I don't know, she's one of those actresses that are she's the epitome to me of what an actress should be.
Hmm.
Like she
Definitely.
could mold herself into anything. I mean, I can't remember the one she was in where she was like a CIA agent or something like that. Um, but she has such passion. Like even
Yeah.
in this episode, this show, when she cries,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
you
you
want to cry
feel
with
it.
her. Yeah, she
Yeah,
totally like takes on a role and emulates she becomes the character. And I think
completely.
you kind of have to. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to be an actor or actress, you have to do that, or else it's not going
Mm-hmm.
to be believable.
Oh,
Like the
completely.
people, you know how like I would get mad at characters like, oh,
Yeah.
that those are the good actors, that can
Mm-hmm.
make you believe that they're really that person, or
Yes.
cry with them, like, oh my God. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like our generation Julia Roberts, I could easily say. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you
Oh,
know.
oh, completely. I agree. And I love how, like, there was one episode in particular, I don't know if you remember, Jordan wanted to have sex
Mhm.
and she felt pressured by him to have
Mhm.
sex. And I loved how they didn't just make it about like sex in general. they actually like explored how she felt about doing it. It
Hmm.
was as though you were in her head and
Yeah.
you could understand or empathize with her that, she's what at that age, like 15 or 16,
Hmm.
and she's with the guy of her dreams. You know,
Yeah.
you always think, oh my God, this is going to be like, I'm going to definitely have sex with this person, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, she, in this episode in particular, and I think that's what made it so like memorable for me, is that even though she loved him and she was so like obsessed with him in that way, she realized that she didn't want to do it yet. It was as though she didn't want to ruin it. And she was okay with telling him, I don't want to have sex yet.
Hmm.
Like, and I think that showed us, the viewers, and I think this goes along with everything that we say about all the shows in the 90s and even in the 80s, is they show you things on how to deal with real life circumstances and issues. And this showed me a lot. Like, hell, if she could say no to Jordan Catalano, hell, I could say
Hmm.
no to anybody. You know what I mean? And like, not risk her feelings, not feel as though she had to say yes because it was him or that everybody else thought, okay, you have to do it or that's what society says. But she went with her gut. Like, I'm going to do it when I want to, not just because I love you. Like
Yeah.
when I know it's right, it'll happen. And she was willing to risk everything for just saying no. And I
Hmm.
just felt like, I was like, wow, because other shows we see that, but you always see the girl giving in.
Hmm.
So I felt like it was a nice message to show, especially young girls, that you could really be like enamored by someone, but you don't have to say yes because of that. If you're not ready, it's okay to say no,
Yeah. No,
you know?
and I think we were lucky in the sense that we had role models on TV that weren't so quick to like
Mm-hmm.
give it up to keep
Completely.
some boy,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Look at Donna
Like
Martin.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Jessica Simpson, like
Mm-hmm.
we had like,
That's right.
these people that
Mm-hmm.
showed girls that it was okay to wait until you were ready. So I thought that was, yeah, I agree with you. I think that was really cool. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but always you have that character in the show that is completely the other way around. And,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I'll never get over in this show is like Rayanne's betrayal of her best friend. And it's only, but the thing is like they're at odds, like
Mm-hmm.
Rayanne's missing her best friend, and so she like, remember, she like becomes a part of like Jordan Catalano's
Mm-hmm.
band, and
Yeah.
like they start hanging out more or whatever. And then, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
through that. I think it was like a school thing, like she was in a play,
Mm-hmm.
and she ends up getting drunk with, she falls off the wagon because she was supposedly
Of
not
course. Mm-hmm.
drinking or doing
Right.
drugs at this point, and we'll get into
Mm-hmm.
that episode in a minute because it's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite episode. But like she and Jordan hook up,
Mm-hmm.
and that, like that's it, like that's the ultimate betrayal, and I'm glad they covered it, but I was devastated, like
I was so devastated. I don't, and see, and that was another one, another episode where Angela shows Claire Jane shows her amazingness because man, you felt her pain
yeah.
when she found out that her and Rhiann and Jordan had sex it was in his car, I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the betrayal. I mean, they were so close. And Rayanne knew. Like, I don't know. To me, okay, so my question for you, Steph, and because Rayanne, and a lot of times this happens with people that get drunk, right? I was drinking. I didn't know what I was doing. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't making the right, I couldn't think straight.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
always that as an
And
excuse.
me growing up with a father who was an alcoholic majority of my whole life, okay? Uh, he has even told me, you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that you use that as a crutch.
Yep.
because you want to do those things.
Yes.
So you can easily say, "Oh, I blacked out and I can't remember." Yeah, you do get to a point where you black out, but a lot of times by the time you black out, you're already blacked out. Like literally you're asleep. You're done,
Hmm.
you know? And yeah, I mean, we've all been drunk, but at the same time when I'm drunk, I know when I'm about to do something that I shouldn't,
Hmm.
and you can't tell me that. I just feel like, in that, it's like in this episode, like, girlfriend, you knew. I feel all along
Exactly.
she was just jealous, and this was her chance.
Yep. To be like center of attention. And
Hmm.
it was just unfortunate. But I mean,
It
Rianne's
was.
character, I feel like had we had more seasons, we would have been able to explore the characters' demons a little bit
Hmm.
more. It was kind of explained, but not really. Like, I
Hmm.
feel like they could have gone deeper with all the
Totally.
characters, but
Hmm.
like going back to this whole like she was drunk and didn't know what she was doing. So
Hmm.
like and we knew she was outgoing and a drinker, but we see like the severity of it when she threw
Hmm.
that party.
Yeah.
um Angela she had a family event. Her mom
Hmm.
irritated the shit out of me. So like
For real.
her mom, they get into a fight, of course. Okay.
Hmm.
And she leaves. Okay. She leaves her family event and she goes to Rianne's, and it's like this funky like party, like her, and she had met Rianne's mom prior to the party. So like they're
Hmm.
decorating the whole place and it's just like this really cool vibe.
And she
And
liked her,
yeah,
right? It was
she
kind of
did.
like her, she had never seen a mom like that.
Yeah.
So
And she was
she
like,
was jealous,
damn.
not jealous, but envious of that.
Yes. Yes.
The
So
cool mom.
yeah, so she was like, man, this is so cool. So she goes back to the party, or she goes to Rianne's party, and they have fun, but like Rianne ends up overdosing. So
Hmm.
we learned that not only does she like drink, but she also does drugs. And
Hmm.
back in the 90s, it was ecstasy. So that's what
Yes.
they were using for her drug of
Hmm.
choice. And then we see like from cool mom to like the mom doesn't give two shits about her kid. Like she just does not care. And that's when Angela's mom comes
Hmm.
and steps in and like actually takes her to the hospital and
Yeah.
takes her in and helps her and really like kind of looks out for her. It very much reminds me of 90210, where Kelly Taylor's mom was like, Brenda was like, oh my God, she's the coolest, and is making Cindy Walsh feel like lame, which
Yeah.
but then they go to
Yeah.
the fashion show and like she
Hmm.
totally like is bombed on alcohol and God knows what else, Coke maybe. And
Hmm.
Kelly like runs out, like, you weren't listening, you weren't saying shit.
Exactly.
But okay, but the
Hmm.
viewers saw like Kelly like coming home and seeing her mom passed out drunk. But like Brenda had
Hmm.
no idea. So why are you saying I tried to tell you? You did not.
Hmm.
So this is exactly, but then what happened? Carol took in Kelly, brought her
Hmm.
back to the house. So it was very like reminiscent of that whole
Hmm.
thing.
Totally.
The goody two shoes mom came in and saved the day and was always like the didn't
Hmm.
judge or whatever.
Hmm.
So then later on in the series, in the season, the mom starts to suspect that Rayanne is using or drinking again. And then sure enough, she was.
Hmm. Exactly.
So, yeah, yes, we saw some stuff, but like,
Hmm.
had we been given like another season, we could have explored even more. Like, where's the
Oh,
dad? I don't remember the dad. Do you?
yeah, I do.
Rand's dad.
No, no, not at all.
Mm-mm.
I
We only saw
remember.
Angela's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he was sweet, but not very like, he was more of
He,
like a pushover.
total pushover because the mom, God, we see
Hmm.
this every time. We
Very
see the
controlling.
controlling, yeah, controlling, bossy, snarky mother
Hmm.
and the
Exactly.
sweet dad.
Hmm. Oh, that's always the
It's
case.
always the case. It's like the dad is always like the sweetheart, but like Angela was rude to him. I hated that
Hmm.
about her.
Same
But
here.
and but then on the other, so we see that. Then we have Ricky, who's dealing with the fact that he's gay. He's the only openly gay student at the school. So
Hmm.
that's a whole,
Yeah.
season in itself to see what he had to deal with. We know that he had an abusive uncle
Hmm.
that he lived with.
Hmm.
But we don't
Exactly.
know.
Because was he homeless? Or there was,
Yes.
right? There, I don't know.
I
Because
think
he
he
came.
was the one that dealt with the homelessness because
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He dealt with a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like it wasn't enough. It wasn't covered enough. It was just mentioned. Like there was just because
Hmm.
there was no time.
Yeah.
Where's Jordan's parents? You know what I mean? Like there's just so much that we
Okay.
could have, learned.
Oh, for sure. Because even Brian, who was madly in love with Angela, that was the blonde hair
Yeah,
guy with the
girly
curls.
Krakow.
Yeah, he was he was completely in love with Angela. And there comes a point where a new girl comes in the
Yes.
school and he falls in love with her, I think. Or he starts to have feelings, but he still has feelings for Angela.
Ugh.
But they take it onto a different level where they kind of start going down the road of like his life and his backstory. I don't really
Oh,
remember it,
when
but
he narrated the episode.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, like we've said, if it would have continued on to season two, they would have gone further in with his whole backstory, but like it's crazy. Like when you think of some of the things that they, like some of the topics that they focused on, it was, I mean, you really didn't see, like, remember when Jordan couldn't read?
Yeah, like they dealt with dyslexia and they dealt with
Hmm.
like disabilities and stuff, but we didn't, that's all we would just hear about it. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then going back to the episode you mentioned, that was the one where Angela was like using Brian, right? She
Hmm.
knows that he
Yes.
feels this way and she would like call on him and
Hmm.
like he like dissed the girl that he
Mm.
really liked and
Yeah.
stood her up and then like that's the one where Ricky and her have that iconic dance, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm
Hmm.
glad the girl didn't like fall back like
Thank
no.
God.
I'm glad he
You,
ended up looking like a stupid ass. So yeah.
yeah. No
Mhm.
matter how much I loved Angela, there were a lot of things that I didn't agree with. Like you said,
Mhm.
the way she treated her parents in general, especially her dad, but also she she always thought she was right all the time.
Always.
And the fact that she was so emo at times, it drove me nuts. Like I wanted to just shake her and be like, snap out of it, you
Yeah.
know? Um, but do you remember when what was it? There's a episode that I read about and then I remember it was about like there was a
Ugh,
substitute teacher
the
where
poetry or the English
yes.
teacher. Yeah.
But wait, remind me, did she have a crush on him?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, see, and that's something I could relate to because I always had crushes on older people.
Hello, our chemistry teacher. Oh,
Everybody had a crush on him.
because that's all we had to look at. I mean, he
Yeah,
was so
for sure.
sweet. We all loved him.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many. And then another favorite episode of mine was the Halloween episode. It's
Oh,
always in every show,
yes,
you know?
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
man.
also the episode where like it was a list that came out
Hmm.
where like Angela thought that nobody thought she was pretty because she wasn't on the list. Was it a
Hmm.
list or was it a
Oh, yeah,
yes,
I
it was a
forgot
list.
about that.
And like Rianne was the slut and like the
Hmm.
former best friend, like they made fun of her big boobs and like Angela
Yes.
decides she's ugly because she has small boobs and a zit.
Oh my gosh.
I think the episode's called the zit or the pimple or
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I forgot about that
but
one, but I
like
do remember that.
but this list is something that went on in
Oh,
schools.
oh,
Thankfully,
totally.
it didn't happen in ours, I don't
No.
think.
It might have in other friend groups, but
Yeah,
not
but
we weren't
rumors,
on them.
yeah, rumors happened and I was
Oh, totally.
unfortunately a part of that. But like the most likely to sleep with the teacher, shit like that. I'm sure we
Mhm.
would have heard of it if there was
Oh,
one.
yeah, for sure. I
So thank
mean,
God we dodged that shit.
okay. Because I think that what I love about this is that they focus a lot on Angela's self-esteem. Because that's
Yes.
what it's based off of, is
The
like
whole
her
thing.
intrusive thoughts and
Yeah.
how she perceives things versus what the reality of it is. Because
Hmm.
she's a gorgeous girl, but you could tell just by looking at her and how closed in and how like doesn't look up, doesn't make eye contact, that she doesn't think highly of herself.
Not at all.
When people want to be around her. People are in love
Yes.
with her, you know?
Yeah.
For her
But
to
they
score Jordan, hello.
but they never feel that way about their
No,
own selves. So,
exactly. You know?
yeah.
Um, in high school stuff, was there anything that traumatized you, things that you saw? Because there's one that went on in our high school that just like, and it's something that you see in high school and I hate it. And I remember someone said something about someone's boyfriend and they literally, I don't know if you remember this, but they literally put notes in everyone's locker about this girl and what she did.
Is that the one I went to detention for?
Not you. No, no, did that
This
happen
isn't,
with
yeah, it's
No,
not
this
that
is
one, is it?
no, this is something completely different. But I was just like, and this was part a girl that was part of a one group and they completely ostracized her
Is
because
this
of
the, are you
I think
talking,
s-
are
uh,
you talking about the guy? I had 2 weeks of detention because, and it wasn't my fault.
I don't think so. I don't think it was um I don't think it was that. I think no, this was different. This was complete.
Was this the older guy, the one that I went out with? And then someone
Uh,
started talking to him too.
no, no, no. But see, you went through some stuff
Ugh.
that you, because there was a time where we weren't close in
Yeah.
high school, and you were going through a lot of different things with,
Yeah.
and that's traumatizing.
No, but this one was senior year. Was this senior year?
Yeah, this was,
I already squashed it later in life with this
uh-huh.
girl. But yeah, it was
I
awful.
don't,
And it was
I,
because of the friend that I was friends with that was being mean. Of course, because I was tied with that person.
okay,
Ugh.
no, I want to
And it
say
was about a
this.
freaking boy.
Okay,
It's
no,
always
it
about
was
a
about a,
boy.
yeah, I think this was, here, I'm gonna text you her name. This, okay, I just texted it to you. I don't think it's the same one.
Oh, thank God, no.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes. But
That was
but the pet
horrible.
yeah, the petty drama though. And I'm so glad like you said, you did get wrapped up in some things, which it's kind of inevitable when you have a lot of girls. And girls are crazy, they're petty, everything else. Things happen in high school. You can't
My
control it,
God, you had me.
you know?
But you blocked that stuff out because it's like, oh, you don't want to remember that you were ever a part of something
Hmm.
so disgusting, no matter how old you were. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry,
it's true.
age shouldn't be a factor. Like, that's just stupidity. And like being
Yeah.
friends with people that you let, be,
Manipulate or
but not even like you're just standing there.
hmm Yeah,
Good.
and just
Guilt by
and yeah,
association.
yes,
You know
no,
how many times I had
completely.
detention in senior year because of that? Like, it's like, I don't get
Damn.
detention. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, and it's so funny because I always think like, and it's true, like a lot of people that they're not, a lot of times people aren't even involved, but like you said, because they hang out with certain people, they're automatically guilty, you
Hmm.
know? And a lot of times friends won't have your back if it means they're
Saving
innocent.
their own asses. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you saw that a lot. And I think this show, though, captivated a lot of that, like
Oh,
true life things that kids go through in high school.
definitely. Oh
But
my
they weren't out of
God.
touch at all. It was things
No.
we could relate to.
Right on the money. I think that's why we responded to this show because we were going through
Hmm.
similar things at that same time.
Oh, yeah. And, and I think, I really don't believe they gave it a chance. And I think that it's sad. I get it. Like Claire Danes was really like climbing up the ladder, like to, fandom or fame, right?
Yeah.
But I really think that if they would have given it a second season, it would have taken on a completely different role, like more so. Like a lot of times the pilot show, like this pilot seasons aren't the best. Like you look at all of them and they're always cheesy or things that they could have done
Hmm.
better. But this one, I really don't I think they really didn't like zone in on the actual group and age group that it really like touched.
Hmm.
I don't think older generations could really understand a lot of this stuff. And they felt, because it was, even when you look at the screenshots of the show, it is gloomy,
Yeah. It is. It's
you know?
dark. It's
Mm-hmm.
dark. And I think it's a metaphor for high school. Like,
Completely.
like it totally captivated it. Although at that looking back, I always say I had a great high school experience and I stand by that. It was mostly great, but it was
Mhm.
also dark and
Mhm.
lonely. When you have to like hold secrets in about who you are, and
Mhm.
you're not so much like because you feel like you're going to be shunned, but a little bit, but more because you're trying to figure out who you are. And
Mhm.
then like you have your friends and your close friends with people who maybe could be viewed as a bully. And
Mhm.
then you are
Yeah.
like, but like because you have a history with the person, or like you just want to see the good in the person, and
Mhm.
then you're associated. So it's a lot. It's like I would say it's 80-20 for me.
Yeah.
80% good, 20% not so much. How about you?
For me, I really didn't. I thought that it was fun. High school was fun. I just didn't really enjoy it as much. I don't know what it was. I just kind of feel like I think I would have enjoyed it more if I went to a co-ed school,
Really?
personally. Yeah. I don't know if it was just too much drama or I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I enjoyed my high school experience because I enjoyed like the fellowship, right? The
Hmm.
friendships that we created and stuff. And I liked certain classes. It was fun. We had good times, social studies or whatever it was, me and you, like laughing back
Yeah.
and forth. Like the drama, the ridiculous, like I guess you know what it is, and I think that's any year is that it doesn't matter what generation. I can't handle kids that are disrespectful to teachers.
Same. I have always hated that.
Yeah, it's something that really bothers me. And I don't care how crazy or kooky the freaking teacher is, okay? They don't deserve any type of disrespect. And we saw that a lot, especially with like older teachers or teachers that were, kind of goofy, whatever. But, God, that's a hard job. And
Yeah.
I saw that a lot in a lot of the classes, and it just shows how disruptive like one student can be
Hmm.
and just ruin a situation. Like I don't know. It was just like I guess I just don't do well with kids that are like that. It drives me nuts, and I just loved it in the lunchroom, the cafeteria. Or when we
Yeah.
would have moments outside, like chilling when a period, would be canceled and we could go like outside and hang out wherever, like the senior lawn, like
Yeah.
certain things like that, events like that were fun. Art class was great.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't mind going back and doing it all over. I would do some things different. I probably would, I don't know, try a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, hindsight is 2020. I'm just
Yeah.
sad that it's not there anymore. Like it's still there, our high school, but I'm sad it had to close.
Yeah, agreed. I wish that it could still be there because I don't
Hmm.
know. It's just a part of us. It is.
Yeah,
Even though it was
it
four
is.
years, it's definitely a part of us.
Yeah, and it made us who we are,
Hmm.
and I think they tried their best to instill like manners and certain etiquette in us,
Yeah.
and it's cool. Like, look at you. Like, that's where your mom went,
Hmm.
It's like tradition,
Exactly.
So it's like an end of an era.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
I know. Such good times. The dances. Oh, the
Oh,
dances. They were fun.
I mean, just so many, like the retreats, the
That's right.
events were fun. The events were
Hmm.
fun.
They were. High school, and to each its own. Everybody has their own story about high school,
Yeah.
you know? And, like I was talking about that to someone because, Presley is going to be in sixth grade. So, you have to start thinking, like, what are you going to do? Right. And it is scary, to think because, like, not everybody's experience of high school is the same. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's true. Like, her experience was horrible, whereas her husband's was great. And he wants his kids to have that experience. And she's like, yeah, but you can't guarantee that they're going to have that.
No, you
Especially
don't
the
know.
times are different now.
Yeah.
We didn't have social media. We didn't have stuff like that. And it's a whole different level of bullying.
Yeah.
And high school's just, even though it's great and can create amazing memories, it's still scary,
Yeah.
you know?
Ugh,
So,
that is scary. I wouldn't, yeah. Good luck.
I know. Thanks. But yeah, I don't know. This show though, I don't know, it's kind of one of those shows I would love to show Presley when she's a little older. Just to kind of,
Yeah. It's a rite of passage. I
it
think that she
is.
would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
For sure.
she's almost at that age, so
I
wow.
know. That's crazy. I know. Time's a flying stuff.
I blink and it's 2025.
Oh, God. My goodness. Or 2029.
Shit, don't
And we
even.
would have 30-year reunion. So real quick, our high school Facebook page.
Yeah.
So they have reunions, right?
Hmm.
So because they just have one or was it just a gathering?
They have like luncheons and stuff that everyone can be part of. I was supposed to go to that, but it was
Mm-hmm.
like a weird hour and it was $80. I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but they do things regularly, which is
Okay.
but like official reunion, like our
Mm-hmm.
official one, like was the 20th one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, we should be getting together for a 25th.
I know that's a big year.
Hmm.
And that would be fun. I think that's the beauty of social media is that we could
Yeah.
keep in touch,
Yeah.
and it's different, but you could still create events because I think the Facebook reunions are more for every
Yeah.
year. It's not just one specific class.
Hmm.
So, but it's cool. I don't know. It is different. It's nice to see where people are, how they looked before and what they look like now, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
It's always cool to see.
definitely crazy. It's like, wow, oh my God.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know. Some people just fell off the face of the earth. You don't know where they are, you
Mm-mm.
know? It's like Romeo and Michelle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, this was a good episode, Steph. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Like it,
Hmm.
justice for the show though. Like, give us a reboot. What are you doing right
Yeah,
now, Claire Danes?
I
Like,
agree. Hello. Is she in any shows? I don't know.
I don't know. She should be. She's amazing.
Yeah, she
So,
is. Yeah, and if you've never seen Broke Down Palace, you
oh,
need to see it because it's such a good
see,
movie.
that is a once for me.
Oh yeah,
Never,
it's
it
very.
haunts me.
Oh,
Like
totally. Me too.
I know it like the back of my hand, and I'm just like, I don't think I could do it ever again.
For real, so much so I don't even know if I could go to that country she
Me
went
neither.
to
Me neither.
because of that.
Yeah,
And you
scarred
know what
me.
though? It taught me things.
Totally. Not to be so
Because
trusting, but she wasn't. It was her dumbass friend that she
see,
sacrificed herself for.
yeah, see, never trust. See, mm-mm.
Do you know who you're traveling with? No. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who your friends are?
Yeah. Would they do
And
that for you?
of course, it was Kate Beckinsale
Uh-huh.
or whatever the frick her name is. She annoys me.
Yeah, she's pretty annoying. She's pretty, but she's pretty
She is.
annoying.
Exactly. And in that movie, she's hella annoying.
She's
Could have
the
slapped her a
most.
couple
Yeah,
times.
just her airheadedness. So that means she did a good job.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yep. So
anyway,
if you feel like crying and getting pissed off, go ahead and I was gonna say go ahead and hit a Blockbuster up and rent Broke Down Palace. Wouldn't that be
yes,
great? Oh, and then get a
go
Pizza
back in
Hut
time.
pizza. Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh, yes. Oh, shoot, that would be amazing. Toto's. Oh,
Oh, stop it. Okay.
I
With
know.
that, I'm gonna go cry in the corner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode because we sure as hell did. I think
Yeah,
we showed restraint in waiting until like a whole what is this episode 127 to do
yeah,
it because yay us because
exactly.
this was like a monumental thing for us to talk about.
It was. And if you're feeling nostalgic for the 90s and you've never seen this show, go watch My Soul Called Life because it's
Oh,
amazing.
yes.
Hmm.
Yes. And really quickly before we log off, have you been seeing the stuff that's been going around regarding the Nickelodeon stars, like the truth
I
about,
was going to talk to you about that.
yeah, have you watched it yet?
No, because
Let's
I'm kind
watch
of
it.
like, okay, let's watch
Let's
it. 'Cause
watch it and
I'm
talk about it here.
like, okay, let's do that next week.
All right. I'm gonna watch it this
Because
week. We're gonna
so
talk
and
about it.
our listeners, you watch it and then tune in and
Yeah,
if you
because
have any questions, let us know. I'm kind of like
I know.
it's
I
kind of
know.
it hurts my heart.
It does too. Just looking back and seeing the predicaments that they put these poor kids through, like Ariana Grande, and then just a lot. But like the what's his name? The actor? I
I
can't think of
can't
it. We
remember, but
won't
he
even go
was,
into deep. Drake Bell, there it is. But
yes.
like they're being like this is the year of
Hmm.
opening your mouth and not giving a fuck what comes out. Okay.
Thank
Like,
you.
so yay, let's keep chatting. Let's keep sharing the truth, like Diddy and everything.
Yeah.
Like, so tune in next week. We're gonna watch this and
Hmm.
then do a discussion because
Yes.
yeah. So
And yeah, because it's deep and deep dive because they've only, I think even with this, they've only skimmed the surface
oh yeah,
because
there's just so much. And Melissa Joan Hart, she thankfully did not have that experience, but she goes, while I didn't see anything, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it didn't happen to me, but my heart goes out to these people. So I think that was a good, like,
oh,
okay, it wasn't
completely
happening,
to
to
everybody.
everybody.
But
But
real quick, I have a question for you. Do you think that it's because I see a lot of times when these things happen, this is just my own opinion. I feel like a lot of times it's the parents that want their kids to be famous and they're pushing them and they're willing to just let them go,
uh-huh.
you know? And I think that if you were to look at a lot of the kids where this didn't happen, it's because the parents are right there,
Uh-huh.
you
Not
know?
signing
And
over their kid for like to go
exactly.
sleep over at people's houses
Yeah,
now
like
for a
freaking
fee.
Justin Bieber and
Oh,
Usher and just,
yeah, I'm
no,
done.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
tune in next week. And then tune in this Friday. We have a brand new epi of Crime Talk with Estefania.
Yes. Can't
So,
wait.
yeah. But until then, folks, hug your loved ones and catch you on the
Yes.
flip side.
Peace out, buddies. Woo.